what we will be doing the time.
Right. So Christian was leaving whose house?
Mr. Interpreter.
The interpreter's house. And Mr. Christian was going into the interpreter's house, and then he went and he met two other people, Passion and Patience, and then he left those two guys, and he was going to go out of the house, and he was going to find the cross. Yeah. His burden's going to roll off, right? So let's read what happens here. Hey, I want to show you something real quick. Hang on. I was standing outside the house the other day having a conversation, and he pointed this out. This is a beer tent. This is where people have coffee. That's a deer. The deer's name is Yellen. And look at that number right there, 1756. So he pointed out that Yellen, of course, is their beer here, one of the big beers. But 1756 is when that was, when the company started. And he pointed out, tell me a number about America. And I said, well, 1776. He said, exactly. He said, so they have beer companies older than the United States of America. Yeah. So when it comes to people trusting us, they look at us as very new, and that's why it's going to take a lot of time, if that makes sense. So who are we, some very new country, to come over here and tell them what to do or believe? So interesting. I thought that I'd share that with you.
I'm actually out on a walk right now to, one, grab a few groceries and things for the home, and two, try to build my strength back up from being down and out for so long. You really get wiped out and lose your muscle and strength. So I go for walks that are not too long sometimes, just to try to build some of that back. So these are little shops with a meat store and a bakery, and just a little bit of when you go out on a walk. I love the little shops, and I've really enjoyed having the strength energy to get out and just explore a little bit around our neighborhood. It is about 95, maybe just 93 degrees out right now, and it's not yet, I think, like 11 a.m. I think it's supposed to be 104 today. So it has been very hot the last couple months. Hot, not a lot of rainfall. Every now and then we get a nice breeze, and that helps. I'm thankful we have air conditioner in our home. But it's been good last couple months. It's been challenging. There have been certainly days of some tears and just emotional struggles. You know, the newness and excitement. There is still excitement in many ways, but also some of that wears off, and you feel like you stick out like a sore thumb, and sometimes you think about that more than the people that are here really actually do when it comes to language and stumbling over your words and trying to figure out directions. And I went to a store and didn't know that I couldn't go in a certain section, but I did. So then they're yelling at you in a foreign language, and you don't know what they're saying. So there's all kinds of things like that sometimes are used to discourage you. The last couple months have really just been a waiting season. We hurried up, got to Serbia, and now we wait. Let's see, waiting for me to feel better so that I can actually walk these streets a little bit and get out and see my surroundings and where we actually live, and take the boys out for walks to the park and that sort of thing. Waiting to find a house that we could purchase so that we could get permission to stay. Now waiting and still waiting on the paperwork for that permission to stay, waiting on all the government officials and legalities and those involved to get all that taken care of. And let's see, waiting on the bus system here. Waiting on my children. It's an ever ongoing process. As their little legs grow and they learn to get up and down the stairs and up and down these long sidewalks with their bikes and their scooters. I'm just waiting on God to give direction in several areas, and waiting on ourselves and being patient with ourselves and waiting on ourselves to learn and just grow. And sometimes you want to learn everything about your new surroundings and the language and the customs and everything. You want to learn that overnight because you know, the sooner you learn it, the more it feels like home. And we're just waiting on ourselves, being patient and asking God to help us with those things. Really, it's just been a season of waiting.
He had really taken the weight from his shoulders forever. What do you think of that?
Good.
Wow, that's crazy. So there's Christian's burden, and there's little Christian, the furry little rabbit, and then there's the cross.
Yeah. But there's no Jesus on it.
Nope, Jesus is not on the cross. Where's Jesus?
I see Jesus at the white ram.
He's in heaven, the celestial city, isn't he?
And he a white ram. And he had a white on top his head.
Yeah, he had a crown of thorns on his head, didn't he? Now, Christian said, I can walk as quickly as I like, he said. And he stayed looking at the cross with his heart full of joy and thankfulness. I told you before that the king's own son had once come to this country to visit, in which little Christian lived. But although he was kind and good to everyone, many hated him. And at last they seized him and put him